Hello everyone. I wanted to make this video to share with you why I moved to China back in 2012. I don't live in China anymore. I've been back here in America for about almost 2 years. I lived in China for 3.5 years, 2 years in Shanghai and a year and a half in Zhejiang province. While I was there, I did get a chance to travel to many other cities in China outside of those provinces and outside of Shanghai. And I just wanted to share with you why I decided to go to China in the first place. So I had learned Spanish and I traveled abroad and taught in Honduras, and I became fluent in Spanish. My Spanish was really good. I could speak Spanish even faster than I spoke English. I gave some talks in Spanish. I was very close to teaching some subjects in the Spanish language, teaching some subjects to people. I was a teacher at the time. But I decided not to do that, decided to come back to America. And I wasn't exactly sure what to do when I came back to America. I still had the desire to travel in me and to explore more cultures, to learn another language. Somebody told me, hey, there's a lot of opportunity in China. Why don't you check it out? And I didn't really think about that before, but after I checked it out, I decided to do it. And I applied for some jobs teaching, and I got accepted, and I went over there. And really, I didn't know what to expect there. You know, when you see some Chinese movies from the past, maybe you think, a lot of bamboo trees and people wear those traditional Chinese clothes and drink a lot of tea, kung fu, all this stuff from the past. So I didn't really even know what to expect. I didn't know if I was going to see that or something else. I was really going because I just had the desire in me to travel more, to learn another language, and teaching was one of my specialties. I could continue doing that. And, in America at the time, I was living with my parents. I was making some money, but it was really not enough to rent my own apartment, buy my own car, and do all the things that I wanted to do to grow up, basically, to be a man. And living in China gave me that opportunity to, be able to rent my own apartment, buy my own food, and still save a lot of money at the same time. I mean, it's not that easy to do that in America in many cases, but there I did that, and I made a lot of progress, made a lot of connections, and I was very happy that I did that. I also met my wife there. We got married there, so that was really, really, really good. That was the best part of China for me. And I think that's the reason why I decided to go there in the first place. Now, why did I stay for 3.5 years? Well, I wanted to improve my Chinese level. Also, I was doing so well there, and I just loved Shanghai a lot. I thought it was a good city, and yeah. But moving back to America, we ultimately decided to move back to America because China is not a very family-friendly place. You have a lot of apartments to live in, not houses. So it's very difficult to see ourselves buying an apartment to live in the rest of our lives. And I just didn't like that idea. We like grass, we like trees and plants, and having your own house where you don't need to worry about making noise because of somebody downstairs. You don't need to worry about the neighbors next to you doing something dumb. We liked the idea of having our own house, not an apartment, which is somewhat rare in China to find houses that are not connected, that are separate. Also, in China, we were getting sick from the pollution and the food. So the food was kind of making us sick, around once a week or even more frequently than that. Here in America, we don't get sick from the food almost ever. It's not very common, once in a while. But in China, it was very frequent. We got sick from the food. There was something bad in the food, I think, in many cases. Not in all cases, but, And also, we would get sick from other things as well, pollution and whatever. We would get sick, fevers, nausea, all kinds of stuff would happen. And I think it was from the pollution. And also in China, we found that some of the people became a little bit nosy. They would always be asking questions about why are you doing that? What are you doing now? And how come you do this? Not just to me, but to my wife as well. Very nosy, always being very pushy. And it's not with everyone, but it's with way more people than in the United States, where people in general, they leave you alone to do your own thing. And we feel more comfortable with that. So also for like visa purposes and green card, it's much easier to get a green card as a spouse in America than there is no green card in China. If you're married, you can get the spousal visa, but technically you're not allowed to work on that visa. So in America, they're much more open to having a foreign spouse and be together as a family. So those are the reasons. Let me know what you think.